Everybody. Obviously, my cat wants to participate in this. I'm going to talk a little bit about um, when your life is kind of sucky. Because I've been there. Not right now, but it has been. Um, so, my husband and I, at the time he wasn't my husband, we lived in Colorado. And we moved from Colorado to Connecticut to, participate in opening a holistic medical center. And the people with the money kind of couldn't get their act together in terms of like, what would we like to create? Right? They were conflicting actually. So they had this vision. Hello. Um, the guy had the vision to open up a community clinic that would serve the community. The woman said, no, I want to do boutique medicine, high end type stuff. So they couldn't agree. Um, and so we were kind of there, me as a yoga teacher and coach and all the crazy energy things I do, and him as the doctor, and like kind of in the middle of tiny place in Connecticut. And to give you kind of a frame, this guy a couple of years ago asked me, how'd you like Connecticut? And I said, the library was really amazing. So if it's the library that's amazing, it's not like a super fun place to be. So, we were there and sort of involved in the center minorly because they were still getting their act together. And I was teaching some, but I had kind of lost like my zest for life. I was kind of like at one point I was given I co-taught this yoga class. So like I would teach it one week and then the other lady would teach it the next week. And at one point someone told me, Kathy, that was the best yoga class I've ever taken. And the week after she said that, they took the yoga class away from me. It was like it wasn't allowed to be the best class someone had ever taken, so they took it away. Um, so essentially, at one point, I was just like, "Universe, geez, if you don't want me to be teaching yoga, if you don't want me to be doing this, like, tell me, show me what you want me to be doing," because like I was just kind of cold in Connecticut and felt like, yeah, I had like three friends. But I wasn't getting the exercise I was used to getting in Colorado. I didn't have like the friends I was used to having. It was just sort of like I was plunked down in this place like, okay, now what? So after I asked that, the week after I asked that, or maybe even just a couple days after I asked it, like someone invited me to teach at a town that was a couple, like 20 minutes away. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I saw that as an answer to my ask. And I went and did that and had an enormously grand, amazing time. You know what? This is having bad connections. So let me take it. Not sure why it's having bad connection. There's not a good reason for that, a tangible reason, but hopefully that was useful. um, so like one of the things you can do when life is not going well is you can change your point of view about life. Another thing you can start to do is start to ask questions that will open the doors to what you're really looking for. Like mine, hey universe, if you would like me to keep teaching yoga, well, bring me a better situation than this. And actually, I mean, the ask is one thing, and then, it may land in your lap, like the email I got, but it may involve actually going out and looking for things, right? Looking for what would light you up, looking for, in my example, a different studio. Sometimes we ask, I've seen this happen dozens of times, and I need to let go of my points of view around it because it drives me nuts. People ask like, well, what else is possible? But then they don't actually do anything, right? They'll say, what else is possible? And then they make no change at all. Maybe you've seen that yourself. Maybe you've done it yourself. Maybe it annoys me because I've done it. And so like asking questions and then also engaging with the universe, engaging in on this planet, like looking for other possibilities and choosing, right? Not just looking, but also choosing different possibilities. So and then, looking at, well, he eventually, I was talking about my husband a little earlier, he eventually got a job at the hospital because these people couldn't kind of choose what they wanted to do, couldn't agree on it. And he liked that. So we looked at each other and we said, like, what are we doing in Connecticut? We could both be doing what we're doing anywhere. So we looked at, okay, well, where is it we would really like to be? So we said ocean. Okay, cool, ocean. Well, that kind of brings us to both coasts and the islands. Okay, well, usable ocean, right? Usable meaning I'd like to swim, I'd like to paddleboard, I'd like to kayak. And so that narrows it down even more, right? So starting to look at all the elements of what you would like to have in and as your life, whether they're energies or whether they're tangible things like ocean. Um, and so one of the things that I've developed, and then we would sit together and we would really go over like what is it we would really like and get clear, because clarity is super useful. And it's not that you have to, let's say it's a car, it's not that you have to be like it has to be a 2018, white Mercedes Benz. It's like, what are the elements? Um, I would like a comfy car. I would like a car that is easy to ride in and it feels great and all of that. So that's the energies more than like it has to be super specific. Because if you're so specific, the universe may have something that's right here, but you're not looking here. You're not even your door is shut to that because you're like must be white Mercedes Benz. I know I'm hopping around a lot. So anyway, I have a class on this topic coming up. It is called Clearing the Points of View That Keep You from a Life Beyond Your Dreams. And I'm going to pop the link in. It's called juicytargets.eventbrite.com. So, and that'll be starting next week because I know what it is to have a life that you hate, a life that's a little boring, a life that you dread waking up for. I've had that before. And I know what it is to have an amazing life, too. So I'll pop that link in. And I know that an amazing life is possible for you, no matter where you are, even if you're in a life that you dread waking up for, which was the case for me for a while. Anyway, guys, give me your questions if you have questions and your comments. I love comments, and the YouTube gods and Facebook gods like us more if we have likes. So if you'd be willing to do that, I would love that too. And I'll pop the link in for that class and hope to see you on it. Because a lot of times we have points of view between us and the life that we'd really like to have. And the only thing that's between, that's in the way is those points of view. Anyway, oh well, right now what's in the way is also my cat.